I slid that right wing out away from the fuselage and got in there and worked on that a little bit. I had a little bit of problem getting that front spar to slide into that hinge. I took some sandpaper and went in there and cleaned up that hinge point there. Everything on here on that cabin side of it was powder coated twice. It had white powder coat in it to start with. I wanted the fuselage powder coated white back underneath everything so that it could stand out a little better when you shine a light in there and it's a little easier to see things. And then I wanted the interior of the fuselage powder coated black. So they coated everything white first and then did the forward section of it black. So everything on the front is done twice, so it's real thick. I cleaned up the powder coat on that and got it opened up a little bit there. But then I got to looking over there at the wing spar and feeling it, and a little bit of burrs and stuff around that nose of that spar there, those brackets where they come out on that spar. Well, I took the file and kind of trued those up a little bit, but there's bushing in that spar, steel bushing that goes through that spar that bolt goes through, and that bushing was standing out proud. I don't know, a 64th of an inch or something. Anyway, it was standing out proud of that bracket on that spar on this side. It was flush on the other side, so it wasn't driven out any or anything. It just didn't get trimmed off right. Anyway, I took the file and flattened that out, smoothed that out and everything, and took it down to where it's flush with that bracket there on that spar. So hopefully that'll slide in there a lot better. It would almost go in when we were trying it, but just not quite. So that's done. I measured out the flap cable there and got it cut to length, and then I put in it. If you've never run a Necopress tool in there between the wing and the fuselage of the airplane, that's a real joy. Even though I've got that out there about 1.5 feet or so, it's still still fun. That thing should be ready to go on there now, so I'll go ahead and this time I think I'll go ahead and put the Peralcatone on everything before I put it all together instead of waiting until afterwards, but that should go together now. I'll give it a try. Well, that spar slipped right in there this time. Went in just like it was made to go there, so all that little work on there worked. I've got pins in both the front and the rear hinges now in the spar. I've got to get my lifting eye put on there. Because of the way it's hanging on these straps, the wing kind of pulls backwards on the outside tip, so there's kind of a lot of pressure on it here in the front. I got to pull on that to get it to line up right. Well, I'll get that lifting eye put on there and pull that pin out of there on that back side where I've got it in there, and then I'll go ahead and get those drifts, those little bullets, and start putting those through there. That right wing is all attached. I've been working at this towards this goal for so long, I'm not sure what to do next. But I got it all on there. The bolts are in, the nuts are on. It's not tightened down, of course. I got the wiring done. The wiring was not hard on this side. There's just one wire for the right nav light. Got the fuel hoses all hooked up, and that's all there was to it on this side. I still don't have the flap cable hooked up back there to the bell crank, and that has to go on both sides. But other than that, hurrah, 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 the wings are on. Oofta, oofta. So that's kind of the biggest accomplishment in a while. So I think I'll go out and do a little jig.